So you're thinking about moving to Calgary, but is this city really a good place for you? Well, there are plenty of reasons why Calgary is a great place to live, but there are also reasons why it is not. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. Now, are these reasons enough to make you reconsider moving? Maybe not, but at least knowing these things will help you be more prepared and avoid disappointment when you move. So if you want to find out what these things are, then stick around because we're getting at it right now. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Mark Kapanen, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything about what it's like to eat, sleep, work, play right here in Calgary, then make sure you subscribe down below and click that little bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video. And if you're thinking about moving to or relocating anywhere within the Calgary area, I am a licensed real estate agent right here in the province of Alberta and would love to help you with your real estate needs. And you can find all of my contact information in the description below. So just give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, because I love helping people like you make a smooth move to Calgary. So to start off, something you may not know much about is wildlife in Calgary. Now when I'm talking wildlife, yes, we have birds and squirrels, rabbits and skunks, and all those smaller animals, and there's an abundance of them. I live in the inner city and they're everywhere. Some people may find them to be a nuisance, but they're not really going to do a whole lot of harm. What you might not know is we also get large animals in the city, like moose and deer. There's been bears and even cougars. Now, bears and cougars you definitely don't want to encounter, but to be fair, it's not something you really need to worry about because they're not that common. Now, you may also encounter bobcats or coyotes. They're found throughout the city, and this is very important, especially for those with pets or small children. So what I'm trying to say is you just need to be mindful of wildlife in Calgary. One of the most common complaints you'll hear about Calgary is the weather. Sure, most people don't like the cold winters, but what's more important to know about the weather is not just about one particular type of weather we get, it's that you never know what you're going to get. One day could be hot and sunny, and literally the next day you could get snow. Now that's not likely going to happen in the middle of summer, but I have seen snow in every month of the year. So dressing appropriately can be a challenge. Your best bet is to wear layers and adjust your clothing as the weather changes. Another thing to be aware of is hail. Hailstorms in the summer are a common occurrence in Calgary and the surrounding areas. Sometimes our hot summer days turn into wild storms in the evening. And with these storms, you sometimes get large hail that can cause a lot of property damage. So when you're looking at neighborhoods, this may be something you want to consider because there are certainly areas, mainly on the northwest and southwest edges of the city, that get the worst of these storms. Another thing you'll have to deal with, and it's not something that anyone really talks about, and that's the wind. Southern Alberta is one of the windiest places in Canada, and Calgary is windy pretty much every day. And I'm not talking just a light breeze, more like 20 to 30 km/h winds. And that's very common throughout the daytime and into the evening. Something else I want to include while talking about the weather is Calgary is a very dry climate, and therefore things like chapstick, body lotion, and lots of water are essential. The next thing I want to mention, and you'll have likely heard this before because it's been an ongoing issue for years and it's not likely to be resolved anytime soon, and that is the class sizes in Calgary's elementary and high schools. Many of Calgary's schools have issues with overcrowding, and that just means that if you're in a neighborhood where the schools are at capacity, some of the students will have to attend schools outside of their communities, which means being bused to and from school. This issue is common in a lot of newer suburban areas, but also throughout the city, class sizes vary from school to school. So it's important to know if you're going to have children enrolled in school, you'll want to look into this as it may be a factor in which neighborhood you choose to live in. The next thing I want to talk about is the lack of diversity in Calgary's economy. For many decades now, Calgary's main economic driver is the oil and gas industry, and therefore the price of oil significantly influences Calgary's economy. So as the price of oil cycles through ups and downs, Calgary's economy goes through booms and busts. I've lived here and worked in the oil and gas industry through a few of these cycles, and the good times are great, But the downturns are really bad and often result in mass layoffs, which are just devastating to the job market and the economy as a whole. Now, in recent years, Calgary has made progress towards economic diversification in areas like the financial and technology industries. However, in Calgary, it's still hard for any industry not to feel the effects of fluctuations in the oil and gas industry when such a large portion of the population still depends on it. The last thing I'm going to discuss is transportation, and more specifically, the need for transportation. It's not necessarily a con, but Calgary is a big city and continues to expand outwards with the development of new communities. And so it can take an hour or more to drive across the city, which means it's almost essential that you own a vehicle when you live in Calgary. Now there are exceptions. For instance, if you live in the downtown area and you work down there, you're within walking distance to most amenities and easy access to the C train to get to other parts of the city. The problem is, if you're relying on transit and you're not close to one of the C train lines, you may end up having to take a combination of buses and trains to get wherever you're going. So when it comes to things like getting to work, going to school, getting groceries, or wherever you need to go, and remember, you'll have to do this in the winter, so you'll want to consider transportation. Anyway, I hope this information doesn't discourage you from moving to Calgary. Instead, I hope you're more prepared to make the move. And hey, if you feel more prepared, like and subscribe down below, and also click that notification bell because I'll be uploading videos just like this every week, teaching you what you need to know about moving to Calgary. And if there's anything you want to know about living in Calgary, comment down below and I'd be happy to assist you where I can. That also includes with your real estate needs, as I am a licensed real estate agent right here in Calgary and would love to hear from you. You can find all of my contact information in the description below, and that's where you can reach me anytime. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, because days, nights, evenings, weekends, I got your back when you're moving to Calgary.